Welcome back to WagerTalk.com Super Bowl future odds. We're going to talk about, give you the lines, what they currently are, and we'll get you some plays from the guys and myself. And we'll also tell you a little tip, if you are going to bet futures, the better way to do it. Running through the numbers, guys, obviously the New England Patriots are your favorite to win the Super Bowl at 3-2. Your next two are Atlanta and the Packers at 15-2. The Cowboys are at 7-2. Actually, Cowboys would be second at 7-2. And then you've got the rest of the field. Steelers come in at 7-1. The Seahawks are 12-1. Kansas City at 8-1. You've got some long shots. The Houston Texans at 75-1. The Giants at 20-1. Raiders at 40-1. Surprising that's not higher given the situation right now. And then your two absolute long shots, the Lions and the Dolphins at 100-1 to win the Super Bowl. Guys, before I get your picks, let's talk about what is a better way usually to play if you want to bet the futures. If you have a team, especially a team that's an underdog, you're better off betting the money line week to week and just rolling it over than actually taking a team at 7-1 or 10-1, because in the end, you're going to get more on a money line rollover. Would you guys agree with that? Playing it?
Yeah, for the most part, I agree. The best part to me is when you lock yourself into these, you're stuck at those numbers. When you can roll over, you can actually shop for the better number. So here, it's sort of like playing a parlay. You got to have the best numbers at the exact same price. It's like exact same time, the same book. So this way it opens up, and if you do get to a point where you don't like the matchup, you could just take your money and go home. You can't do that when you're playing one of these.
Or Eli Manning breaks a leg, after 2 games.
Well, I don't think it matters for Eli Manning. But we're talking about real quarterbacks here. No.
Okay, like the Browns quarterback.
Like the Browns quarterbacks, yeah.
Hey, RG3 got him a win.
He did.
Preston, you have anybody that you got as a sleeper here? That I don't want anybody to say take New England to win Super Bowl, because that's too easy. We don't want the two favorites. Is there somebody you think you see some value that could possibly make a run here?
Yeah, I don't think you can really call them sleepers at this point, anyways, because they've done it before, and they've been beating teams like they beat the Cowboys just a couple weeks ago. But I think the Giants at 20-1 is a good value. But if you roll it over, they're like plus 180 to plus 188, I think, is kind of the number right now against the Packers. So you had $100 on that. That's 280 going into Dallas, where they're going to be probably about touchdown underdogs. So after 2 games or 3 games, I think you'll get well over 20-1 just through the NFC, let alone the Super Bowl. So, and you have the options and advantages Brian mentioned. So definitely roll over on a dog like this. But the Giants are my pick. I think if I had to make one, that wasn't the Steelers, Patriots, or Cowboys, I think I would take the Giants.
Yeah, and we talked about at the beginning of the season, all of us were pretty high on the Giants in that division. They did do well, and going into the season with the record they ended up with, we thought that would actually be enough to win the NFC. We didn't think that the Cowboys would be as dominant as they were. Brian, do you have a sleeper?
I do. I have a couple I was looking at, but I just wanted to point out, at the end of your chart, you said you had Miami and Detroit, and they're about 100-1. When people are looking for teams to win the Super Bowl, normally I think Detroit and Miami had decent seasons. They had good seasons. They're probably in the 30-40 range.
50 maybe. Yeah.
And now you're getting them at 100-1. They only got to win 3 or 4 games. So it's something you need to keep in mind. If you're not going to get one of the top favorites, it's kind of hard to tie up your money all season long. But I was looking between Green Bay and Atlanta, and I think Green Bay is going to be a little bit overrated, especially if they continue to win. They're on a nice winning streak. The prices are just going to be too high. I think Atlanta's a team that, you got a team that has the best offense in the league in the last 3 years, points per game and all the metrics. And they've only been held underneath 23 points once all season, and that was against the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, we know about the defense, but, Atlanta's had a lot of hype in the past, and they haven't come through. Green Bay's had a lot of hype in the past, and they have come through. So you're not going to get your advantage. People are going to look at that and say, well, we've got a Hall of Fame quarterback. Or you go to Atlanta. I think Atlanta's been a little bit under the radar here. You're not getting the greatest paybacks here, but I wanted something in the NFC because I don't think anybody's going to beat New England in the AFC.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going to go is the NFC as well. But I'm going to go a different direction, and I know most people are going to say I'm crazy, but I'm going to go with Seattle. And the reason for it is this team's been all over the place this season. At times they've looked like world beaters. The Sunday night game against Carolina, 40-7. They went into New England on the road on a Sunday night game, beat New England, and then they've laid absolute eggs. They lost on the road to the Rams. They lost on the road to Tampa Bay. But this team has been there before. They won a Super Bowl. They should have won 2. I won't bring that back up, Brian. We remember that game when we were in Reno. But this is a team that's been there and done that. And I'm not sold on Dallas in the NFC because of the inexperience to run the entire table, in the NFC. We're going to have to prove that they can do it. Atlanta, I agree with you. That offense is explosive. I'm not sold on the defense. And Atlanta's a team that's never been there to do that yet. So if you're looking at experience, it's Green Bay and Seattle for the teams, and I just don't like the Green Bay defense. So Seattle's the one I'm looking for the value, but I agree 100%. If you're going to find the value, it's going to come from the NFC, I think, because there's too much weight on the Cowboys, and I don't think they quite deserve that much. I know they got the record, but that's where I'm going for it. Anything you want to add as we close it out?
No, that's it for me. I mean, no one picked in the AFC, so
Yeah,
everyone thinks the Pats or maybe the Steelers. That's my pick, actually. I think the Steelers get it done, but no one likes anyone else, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe the Chiefs, maybe.
Yeah,
Chiefs,
no.
I think they don't turn the ball over. And anytime you have a team that doesn't turn the ball over, they always have a chance.
All right, there you go, guys. Hey, don't forget, Weekend All Access. You can get everything. And it's really the best time to do this now, guys, because you've got basketball, you got the football, the playoff games, the championship game this weekend. Check it out. Weekend All Access, $69. You get everything. Pick your favorite capper. You won't miss a play the entire weekend. Thursday through Monday, just $69. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.com.